All right, for those of you who are not caught up yet, I set out over a year ago to manifest a specific person that I didn't believe existed. It was too amazing and too awesome, and there was too many things that I wanted. Basically, like the question was, can I get everything that I want, right, in a person? And that was too big for me to really believe that I could have it. Okay. But I set out over a year ago to make it happen because settling was not going to work for me. Now I manifested what I wanted, and we have quantum leaped quite a bit together in our relationship in ways that are very, I would say, surprising, unique,
Huge,
insane, revolutionary,
crazy.
one of a kind. And even to us, it's like, wow. And so we have like a method, we have like a system, and I think, and because we keep doing it like over and over. So in this video, we're going to share with you guys our take on what we do to transcend circumstances, to change the dynamic, from my perspective, I'm able to
We're
change.
gonna try to put it into words for you guys.
I'm able to,
like the thumbnail says, you can do it instantly and effortlessly, and it's just crazy. So we're gonna try to explain it.
yeah, how you can quantum leap with your person. And you can do this manifesting is no contact, right? So you can do this whether you're in contact with your person, when you're not in contact with your person, because the change and the manifesting and changing your dynamic and quantum leaping into a different reality is energetic, completely energetic, right? From my perspective, I'm able to create change in him, in our dynamic, in our relationship, in the whole reality, right? It's just like this very interesting thing, but it really works. And you can get it down to a science and a repeatable method, right? So watch till the end of the video so that you can learn how to do that for yourself, hopefully. If you haven't already, make sure that you like the video, subscribe, hit that bell so that you know every time that we're going live, because we're producing videos like 3 times a week now. And meditations.
Pretty damn good meditations too, by the way. So
this relationship is a culmination of all the meditations that I've done. And now we do them together. Not fun.
It's perfect.
And it's funny because
it was meant to be.
What goes into the meditations is shit that we talk about all by ourselves anyway.
Yeah, we're just continuing to show our love and affection for each other, and that's what's so great about it. You know,
I was
share it with the world.
I was doing this before you came, and then you came, and then you were a manifestation of that which was the meditations were, and now we're doing it together.
Yeah, well, you know how when two great things come together, it's just like this super awesome, amazing thing. It's just amplified. So, yeah.
Yeah, two energies amplify each other.
Life's been good.
Okay. So I think this is our favorite subject, talking about, basically transcending circumstances, which has to do with overcoming fears, changing your perspective. What else does it have to do with?
Being willing to do it, being willing to look at your situation and say, do I have everything figured out, or are there some things that I could kind of adjust and improve, reevaluate? You have to look inwardly at yourself.
It's pretty much. Oh, what else? It's pretty much like, if there is something, the best gauge that I've ever found, or the best rule that I've ever found to help figure out, is this real or is this not, is if it feels bad, it's literally a fear or a limitation playing out. If it feels bad, it's not real. Literally. So that's your first indication that, you were saying, is this me, or is it? If it's something that you don't like, that's the indication that you do need to look at yourself. There is something that you're doing to manifest the thing. And so at first, it's really easy to get caught up in the physicality and the circumstances and argue or debate or discuss or try to figure out what the problem is. But the problem, when you're
trying to fix the problem, immediately.
The problem when you're The problem that arises on the circumstantial, superficial level is never the actual problem. It is the indicator of the underlying energetic problem. And so the surface level issue that shows itself is just a distraction.
Yeah.
So when I'm talking to you and something's coming up, I think that sometimes, you're into or I could be too. We could be into the surface level thing, like focused on that. But I'm always kind of looking at, what's that mean? What's that mean? What's that actually really mean? Right? I'm trying to get to like the root of the problem or the true causation. It doesn't always happen instantly that you're able to see it. But we kind of know that this is not the problem, or like the red light, the red light beeping is not the actual problem. It's the indicator of some other problem.
Yeah. So you're saying the problem is not the problem.
The problem is not what you think is the problem when the problem comes up.
The problem is connected to the problem, which is connected to the real problem.
Right. The problem it's like this circumstantial thing that is indicating to you that there's an energetic problem underneath here.
Yeah, and so like in the moment, I think me and you are like trying to communicate better and like get to the root of like what the issue is. Like we're talking about the thing that happened, but then you kind of start to go into what is actually underneath all of this, like energetically. And to me, I'm still kind of a lot of times having the conversation and I'm like, where are you? What are you talking about? Are you even listening to me? And like, so you'll be like way under the surface trying to figure out like, what's this over here?
And you won't be ready for it yet.
Yeah. And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, like, this conversation is not going anywhere.
Yeah. We can tell we're disconnected, which is fine.
Oftentimes we'll step away for a period of time and just come back together like nothing ever even happened because the energy changes. And so that's the point I wanted to make, is a lot of the times it does just take time, and it doesn't fix itself like instantly in the moment when it happens. But once you get to whatever it is underneath, then that problem is instantly fixed.
Yeah.
So all those fears, all those blocks, whatever it was that was like coming between us, keeping us like not 100% aligned and on the same page, falls away. And then they're like, oh, I get it. And then you come back to my arms.
Yeah. So there's a sensation of we're disconnected. Okay. That sensation is actually a sensation of like, right. So you're in a different frequency and I'm in a different frequency and we're not in the same world anymore. And the communication's not happening no matter what words.
And I don't always feel that disconnect. Like I know there's something up, but I don't always feel it. You always feel it before I do, because you're able to like see those things so crystal clearly.
That's good information, because that tells me that there's a lot of people watching that can't necessarily identify that energetic disconnect either.
Yeah, that's the thing that you have to feel, right? So you have to get into the habit of feeling for stuff and like leading with that like spiritual intuition instead of just like what you see and what you're hearing, because there's underlying emotions and then there's underlying like maybe misconceptions and beliefs underneath of those emotions. And so what you're seeing is the byproduct of a whole lot of other shit. And when you're able to like really see all the other shit on the level on which it exists, then you're able to really like step back and look at the situation a whole lot more like in detail. So I feel like you like this whole map, and then you're like constantly working on all the little things and trying to like identify the source of the issue. And sometimes you're surprised by it, right? Like you're like, whoa, I did not, because like sometimes, you have to change some really like things that you don't want to change and some things that you really didn't think were a problem.
It's always things you don't want to change.
Yeah, which is why it's why they make themselves known and they come up so that you can get over them and
the universe makes it like you can't fucking ignore this thing anymore. It's going to get bigger and louder until you
thorn in my ass.
Yes, and everything can be smooth sailing, baby. Oh, and then
shit
everything's just
everything is a shit.
That's communication from the universe to help you, actually, to help you. Like, hey, look at this thing. And you're not going to look at it if there's not a problem. You know? So we see it that way. So we see and understand this is helpful to you. Okay. When things come up that are undesirable to you or don't make sense, or your person's acting really weird, or you're like, what the fuck is going on? Like they're in ego, right? Like there's some kind of trauma playing out. This is how you identify it on like a circumstantial human level. You're like, okay, they're in ego. Something weird is going on there. They're not in touch with reality. Like none of this making sense. And it's this sore thumb sticking out thing. That's the red light going off. Like, look underneath, look at yourself. Stop looking at them and know this is the universe helping indicate to me that I need to look at something and find something.
Yeah, and another thing is deal with the small things first as soon as they come up, and don't let them kind of just like,
oh yeah,
just blow by. And then later on when they come back up,
let it simmer.
Then deal with it. Like, yeah, just like let it, like deal with it right away.
Communicate. Don't let it simmer. Don't wait for it to get big. Don't ignore. Don't be in denial. Yeah.
Yeah, because then I think the storm just gets a whole lot worse.
That momentum increases, and then it becomes a bigger, badder problem, more convoluted,
more ingrained.
Yeah, that's very problematic. You want to stop the momentum and look at things and resolve them as early on as you possibly can. That makes it a lot easier. So
it also goes back to knowing that you're like, well, we're just like such a perfect match for each other. We fit together so well in all the different areas of our lives and stuff. So like we know beyond a shadow of a doubt that we're meant to be together and we want to be together. So that in itself is like always in the back of my mind, and I know that nothing can come between me and her. Like
even when the fears come up and it clouds everything, like you
can
still
know
hold
no
fast
matter
what.
To what you know in your heart, right? And that's huge. You know, belief is huge in manifesting, and so you just focus on the things that you know, focus on the things that you believe, and all the other things, like they might affect you in the moment, or at least they kind of affect me in the moment. They get me down, you know, I'm pissed off or what the fuck ever. But eventually I'm just able to work through that in time, just with loving her and just thinking about how beautiful she is and how good she is and how good I am with her. You know, that love kind of just brings me through that storm. And that is like so helpful. Like you can try to fucking fight it all day long and just make shit, you know, work out, make the relationship work out. You do this, I do this, blah 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 blah. But
try to keep working it out on a mental level. Don't do that.
But when you know, just continuously just like be in love with that person and know that that's there and feel that and hold on to that, it kind of just makes like the skies clear up and the clouds go away and everything just falls away. So that's been really cool to see.
Well, traumas play out at the mental level, right? The ego plays out at the mental level. So sometimes there's like this wave coming through, and I'll just watch the wave play out and nothing's making sense. And I'm like, okay, I'm watching the ego trauma hell play out right now. And I'm just looking at it, you know, and I'm knowing that this is not real, right? So that's important to know the difference between what's real and what's not. Okay. And so in the beginning, I said, anything that feels bad, that's not the real thing. You have to be able to watch that play out and know and disconnect from it and know that it's not real. Now, you build this ability by honing your own awareness about yourself, like being aware and then being able to do that with yourself, watching your own thoughts, watching your own feelings, not believing your own ego and your own stories, and knowing what's real and what's not within you. I teach that. This is like things that I teach in my month-long courses that I do in the Manifesting University. I'll take you beginning to end on these things. I always have lots of courses in there for you guys when you join.
Yeah, something on everything.
Yeah, but especially I did a course a couple months ago on ego to love. And if you join, you can still gain access to that. That was really important because you can't.
It starts with you.
You can't quantum leap into a different reality if you can't detach from this one? So how are you going to detach from a hellish reality that you don't want if you don't have the awareness to detach from it, right?
Yeah, and that's another interesting thing because we actually did that detachment masterclass on YouTube a few weeks ago, and that is hugely just like a part of this because you have to be able to look at all the different bullshit that is coming up and be able to detach from it, put it away from you, and just step into what you believe, what I was just talking about, and like be on that vibration of love and let that carry out and just be able to fucking change your reality instantly and quantum leap into the reality that you want to be in, that you know that you're supposed to be in, and let all that other stuff that doesn't even exist, that has no hold on you, let it fly out the window and just literally vanish and disappear.
You have to learn how to detach from that mental, incessant, egoic voice of doom.
Yeah. So if you
Yeah.
haven't watched that video, go back and watch it and like you'll really understand how to detach from situations and from circumstances that come up in the moment. And the quicker you can do that, the quicker you can quantum leap.
Here's what I do. So I'll see very clearly that, I'll see the disconnect. I'll see that it's energetic. I'll see that this is not the thing that I need to pay attention to. And I'll see that there's a trend of like certain behaviors that I'm seeing in my person. And I'll know that like, okay, well, if I'm seeing a pattern or trend, that pattern or trend is something that exists within me that I need to resolve. So
Yeah, because that's
so
part of your reality. That's going on in your
right.
reality. Yeah.
Right. So I'm projecting that somehow or instigating that somehow with my energy that I'm projecting because I create my own reality. You want to be a deliberate creator and like quantum leap and very specifically manifest what you want every time. It goes back to you. So I will look at whatever I'm seeing, take in that information, and then here's how I create the quantum leap. And I can do it very, very quickly now. We're like 1 minute to the next on this. So I will know, first of all, that I don't need anything from him. I don't need a discussion from him. I don't need understanding from him. I don't need an action from him. I don't need closeness or distance with him. I don't need him to do anything for me to change my own reality. Okay, so I know circumstances don't matter. And I'm the one that when I change, it all changes. It all falls into line. So what I will do is I will say, okay, what is this showing me about me that I need to do, think, whatever? And I'm really good at this point because I pay attention to all the things that the universe is showing me in many different areas of my life. And there's usually patterns there of like, I've already gotten little nudges in this area, right? So he'll help me click a last like few things into place. So, anyways, I will just look at it from that level of what is this showing me about me, right? What am I doing? And then I will be shown, okay, your energy is doing this and your energy is projecting and perceiving this. And I'll look at that and it's literally something that I saw it in him and I projected it onto him. And then it's like I have to see how I did that, how I am that. And that's why I saw it over there. And then when I see it, I'm able to like debunk it. It just dissolves. Like it has no more hold. And I'm able to see past the illusion. And then I'm able to perceive a reality where that doesn't exist in me. And then I see the cause and the effect where if it doesn't exist within me, I can very clearly see that it's not going to play out with him anymore. And then I just literally take on that energy. I'm connected again. I'm paying attention to there's an ego still up here that's like trying to get you to be impulsive and behave in certain ways. I'm aware of that. I know that energy is something not to pay attention to. I'm coming back to like my peace, love, awareness, balance, baseline, whatever. And then when I know that I'm in love, I will know and feel when I can approach him in love too and dominate that energy in love again. And it just changes.
Yeah. Fireworks
It
go
just
off.
change. We don't have to talk, work it out, nothing, because at the end of the day, we
We
agree
love each other.
on love.
Which is so
Hmm.
huge. And we're able to love each other like it never even happened, right?
Yeah, and we know it doesn't even matter. Like there's nothing to work out at the end of the day. There's nothing to work out. It just continually improves because we intend it to be that way. But here's the thing is like the reason why I'm able to manifest that, love reflection in him is because the way that I manifested him like a very specific way. He is literally a materialization of love that I honed independently. And it's like, he just was like, poof, like that. He's a manifestation of my love that I created on purpose. Okay. So that's why he continues to be a manifestation of love in that way for me and with me. So someone asked earlier right here in the chat, what do you do with that little voice that tells you you're not worthy of supernatural love or it won't come to you? Supernatural love is the phrase that I use to describe the course that I used to manifest him. Okay, that's the course that we did last month or 2 months ago, something like that. If you take that course and you want to know how to get past,
it was June.
Okay. If you want to know how to manifest a person to be a materialization of love for you and with you so that you can continue that love in your relationship and they can reflect that back to you, just take that course on supernatural love, because I literally took you guys from beginning to end. And in this particular course, I have it on Vimeo and I've included all the little pieces. So it's not just the retreat. It's like everything leading up to the retreat. And that's all I can tell you, because a lot of this stuff is like a systematic step-by-step thing that you have to practice over time, right? It's definitely a practice. So that's literally what I did, right? So if you've manifested a person into your life and they just keep being a manifestation of lack for you, you have to look and see, like, are they a manifestation of lack for me? And then you have a choice. Either you're going to be able to detach from them so that you can focus on love and manifest something that is love, or you might be able to change that lack to love if you learned how to hone love in the first place. And how do you know that you're being love? The result.
Yeah, you see it in your reality.
When you are love,
reflected in your reality.
It's reflected. So if love is not being reflected in your reality, whatever vibration that you're doing is not love. And so that's why I taught supernatural love. I literally taught you guys how to be what love, the vibration of love, what that actually is, because a lot of people are confusing lack with love. That's why you can't get
and
love.
It's easy to get confused on that too. Like does a really good job of making bullshit look like roses.
That's the job of lack, to confuse the fuck out of you. But anyway, okay, so quick sign to detach from whatever that's not love. Yeah. So quick summary here, I guess, is whatever you see, and if you want to quantum leap and change your person fast and quantum leap into a reality where whatever problem that you're having with them dissolves instantly, you look at the problem that's showing itself on the surface level, and then you create some space from that. You know it's not true, first of all. That's a talent in itself. That takes practice in itself. And then you come back to you and you look at, how am I creating this, right? How am I instigating this energetically and feeding into this energetically and believing in this energetically? If you can do that, the second that you figure that out, you're going to quantum leap into a whole new reality where that shit doesn't even exist.
Yeah, so much better to be in that reality. Yeah, you're gonna want to do this stuff that she's talking about, and consistency is the key to being able to build up that ability to do it fast.
Every time, right? So every time, if you commit to doing this every time and you don't go into gloom and doom of like, oh, I guess it's just never gonna work out for me, and it never works for me, and it's never gonna work out. Happened again. And no, you have to see oh, the universe is helping me by showing me that there is a problem and where the problem is, so that I can get to the next level. That's how I look at it.
Learn from it. Yeah.
That's a problem solving point of view.
That's an opportunity. It's a doorway for you to move into a next level of love and get bigger and better out of your life.
Yeah. So see it as an opportunity for you to see something that is going to help you reach the next level of love. That's what I do. The more that you practice that, the more that you learn all of the things behind all of this, like, awareness, and all the things that I teach in my university. It's a practice that you really got to be committed to. Because if you don't practice it, then you get out of practice and you just fall
Well,
into
it's like
ego.
anything else, yeah. You kinda just forget how to do it. You get
Yeah.
rusty at it. When you're practicing, you're, like, sharpening your skills, getting more, like, quicker reaction time and everything else. Like, yeah, you're staying sharp with it.
Because even though, because at any point in time, we fall into ego, and ego blinds us from even figuring out what the hell up from down is, or what awareness is, or how to come back to love. It blinds us to love.
Yeah, it's like a mask. It totally just is a layer over your reality and just kind of filters everything and makes it look totally different than what it is.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
does.
yeah. That's what its job is, literally.
You got to learn how to come back to love and how to do it again and again and again, and you're the one who decides to keep doing that, and that will determine your ultimate result and your ability to quantum leap instantly with your person. All right, if you're still watching the video, that means you liked it. So make sure that you click the like button, subscribe, hit that bell. We're going live 3 times a week, so make sure that you don't miss it. If you want to take Supernatural Love, that is going to be in the description below. If you want to join my Manifesting University so that you can learn how to do all of this shit, that link's going to be in the comment below as well.
Yeah, head on over, check us out, you guys.
See ya!
Peace.